Greetings, yogis. I'm Rebecca, and thank you for joining me for this practice on contentment. Today, we'll be seeking that balance point between pleasant and unpleasant sensations, between effort and ease, and between our hopes and our fears for our practice. You might like to have a couple of blocks handy for this class, as well as maybe some pillows or a bolster. So take just a few moments, gather what you need, and I'll see you on the mat.
You can take your hands to heart center, pressing the thumbs into your sternum here. Just bring your attention to a part of the body today, maybe that feels good, something that feels warm or relaxed. When you've fixed that body part in mind, shift your attention to a part of the body that's been a little uncomfortable today. Maybe it's been asking for some attention or even complaining really loudly. Just shift your attention to that body part. And now take your attention to a part of the body that's just sort of neutral. Nothing really pleasant, nothing really unpleasant. Identify with that neutral part of the body as your feeling of contentment. And bring that sense of contentment into your heart space, that place where your thumbs are resting on your chest. And now just allow that to release. We'll take the hands to the hips. And we're just going to begin to move the hips in some circles here. So be gentle with yourself, but get into this as much as you would like to. One of the advantages of a home practice and Zoom is nobody is watching you. So you can move your body in any way that feels right for you. So just find that contentment here. And now take this movement in the other direction. Maybe give yourself a little smile. It doesn't have to be an actual physical smile, but just a sensation of a smile that you bring into your body. And now we'll bring that to stillness. And we'll take a little walk up to the top of the mat. So find your way up to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, coming through this half series once again, all the way down, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, release. Inhaling up to stand. Hands to heart center. And one last time here. Inhaling up, great big breath, all the way up overhead, reaching out through the fingertips. Exhale, coming down into forward fold, bending those knees just as much as you need to. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale, releasing into this fold. Inhaling all the way up. Hands coming to heart center. And now we'll inhale the hands up overhead. Once again, exhale, sweeping down into our forward fold. And this time, stepping back with the left leg coming into a lunge. As you're exhaling here, pull back gently against your fingertips to open your chest up. And if you find this difficult and have some blocks nearby, you can always put some blocks under the hands to give yourself some space here to open up through the chest. Peeling back through that right hip, sinking down through the left. And now allowing those hands to frame the foot. We'll bring the back foot forward, exhaling back into our forward fold. And inhaling all the way up with a flat back. Hands coming to heart center. Inhaling, arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands coming down all the way to forward fold. This time planting the hands and stepping back with the right foot. Inhaling here and exhaling as we pull back through those fingertips, using your blocks if you need them, opening up through the chest. And now pressing into those fingertips, we'll bring the back foot forward, exhaling back to forward fold, and inhaling up to stand. Hands come to heart center. So we've done sort of a deconstructed sun salutation here. Now we'll put this all together. Inhaling the arms up overhead, reaching out through the fingertips. Exhale all the way down, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale to release. Stepping all the way back, inhaling here and exhaling into our downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank or half plank. And then as we're exhaling, pulling those elbows into the side, lowering down slowly, coming all the way down to the floor. Tops of the feet come to the floor as we inhale up, pulling back on the hands, using those back muscles, baby cobra. Exhale to release. Inhale back to plank or half plank. Exhale, downward dog. Shifting the gaze forward, bending the knees, walking up to the top of the mat. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale, release into your forward fold. Inhale all the way up to stand. We'll let those hands meet overhead and exhale all the way back down. Moving with the breath, inhaling up halfway. Exhale, release. Planting both hands, stepping back. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank or half plank. Exhale, coming into your version of chaturanga. Inhaling up, baby cobra. Exhale to release. Pressing up through plank or half plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bending both knees, shifting the gaze forward. You can walk or hop yourself to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale to stand with a flat back. Hands come to heart center. Take a moment here to reflect. Maybe to bring that sense of openness and contentment back to the center of your being here. And the beginning again to move. We'll inhale the arms up overhead. This time exhaling as we sit back into chair pose. Inhaling here, we'll grow tall. And then exhaling, we'll bring the hands to heart center, coming all the way down into our forward fold. Planting both hands, we'll step back and exhale as we come into downward facing dog. Inhaling up through the left leg. We'll exhale as we bring the left knee towards the left elbow. Inhaling, we'll shift that left leg back up. Exhale, left knee comes to right elbow. Inhale, sending that left leg back up. Exhale, left leg comes in between the hands, coming into a lunge here. Dropping that back knee to the mat. We'll take the top of the foot to the mat also. And then inhale up, coming into our crescent pose here. And then exhaling, coming to goddess arms, spreading those collarbones wide. Inhaling, hands come back up overhead. And we exhale, framing the foot with the hands coming up on the toes and the back. And here you can come through a vinyasa or just come straight to your downward facing dog. So your choice here. Coming to our down dog. Inhale up through that right leg. Exhale as the right knee comes to the right elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee comes through center, coming into our lunge on this side. Dropping that back knee, taking the top of the foot to the floor. And then inhaling, arms come up overhead. Exhale, opening the elbows, goddess arms. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, framing that front foot. Coming back up on the toes. And again, coming through a vinyasa or coming straight to down dog. And once you've found your way to downward facing dog, we'll stay here for 3 breaths, or you can take a moment in child's pose. So counting your own breaths here, following your own guidance. And then when you're ready, bending both knees, shifting the gaze forward, and you can walk or hop to the top of your mat. And inhale up to stand with a flat back. Hands come to heart center. Nice deep breath here. And then we'll inhale the arms up overhead once more. Exhaling, coming down into our forward fold. Stepping the feet back, coming into our downward dog. And starting once again with the left side, we'll inhale that left foot up and then bend at the knee, opening the hips, stacking the hips on top of each other, coming into our 3-legged dog. And taking just a moment as you take this pose just to tune in to any judgment that may be happening for you around your practice today. It could be good judgment or bad judgment. Just allowing yourself to be content, to be happy with whatever you're experiencing in your practice today. Inhaling to straighten that leg. Exhaling will bring that left knee to left elbow. Inhale, shooting that leg up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale the leg up. Exhale, bringing that left leg all the way through this time and stepping that back foot forward just slightly so that we can inhale up into a warrior one. So coming up into your warrior one now, making any corrections that you need to make, bringing your knee over your ankle, maybe turning the angle of your back foot slightly, really pressing into the feet here, almost like you might tear the mat apart. Inhaling to really send the hands up through those fingertips. And then as we're exhaling, we'll bring the hands around behind, interlacing the fingers behind the back, and then pressing down and away. Opening the chest here. You can keep this here if you like, or on your next exhale, just allow yourself to lower that left shoulder toward the left leg, coming into a humble warrior. And now allow those fingertips to unlace. Inhaling the arms back up overhead, coming back into warrior one. Inhaling, we'll grow tall, and exhaling, we'll come into warrior two, turning towards the long side of the mat. Inhale here, and then exhale, coming into extended side angle. So allow that elbow to find the knee, sweeping the arm up over the bicep up over the ear. And then inhaling, we'll allow ourselves to come into reverse warrior. So continuing to keep the bend in that front knee. And then on your next exhale, allow yourself to windmill your hands down around back to frame that left foot, stepping that left foot back and coming through your vinyasa or coming right to downward dog. Taking a few breaths here in downward dog. And then we'll come through this sequence on the other side, planting that left foot into the mat now. Inhaling up through the right leg, bending the right knee and stacking the right hip over the left. And turning the shoulders back so that they're squared, flush with the mat. And finding some contentment in this pose. Maybe it's not perfect. Maybe your body doesn't feel exactly the way you'd like for it to feel. But just allowing yourself to be okay with what is. And then on your next inhale, squaring the hips back towards the mat, extending the knee, and then exhaling, right knee, right elbow. Inhale the leg up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, stepping all the way through. And then bringing that back foot forward slightly. Inhaling up to warrior one on the other side. Inhaling up through the fingertips. exhaling as we allow those fingers to swim around behind. And here, interlacing the fingers in a way that feels odd, unusual. Pressing the knuckles down and away, opening up through the chest. Choosing to stay right here in this pose. Or lower that right shoulder towards the right knee. Coming into humble warrior. My humble warrior's falling over. And remembering in this pose to keep the knuckles moving up towards the ceiling, not allowing the shoulders to fall forward, putting pressure into that shoulder socket. And then allowing the fingers to unwind, inhaling the arms back up overhead. And exhale, opening up to warrior two on this side. Taking a deep breath here. And on your next exhale, allowing the elbow to find the knee, really reaching out through those fingertips, extended side angle. Inhaling to sweep up into reverse warrior. Exhale, windmilling the hands down, coming around to frame that right foot, stepping the right foot back, coming through your vinyasa, or coming right to down dog. And then when you're ready, allow your big toes to touch. We'll allow the knees to come down wide. And we'll shift back into child's pose. Reaching the fingers out long. Child's pose is a restful pose, but it can also be an active pose. So really reach those fingertips out as far as you can until you're pulling back slightly against the hands and the bend has come out of the elbows. And now we'll inhale up halfway, shifting the legs over to one side, and then just come back to rest at the back of the mat. Bringing the legs out in front of us into Dandasana or staff pose. And if you have a blanket handy and you'd like to sit up on the edge of your blanket, you can do that if you like. You can place a blanket underneath your knees as well. And now just bringing the toes back towards the face, just opening the shoulders away from each other. And then imagining that in that center of the chest, that heart space, there's a string. And that someone might pull that string forward, lengthening your body out over your legs. So you might not come forward very far here, and that's okay. Allow your neck to be relaxed. Just moving forward from that center of the chest space. And your hands can rest wherever they fall. And you might inhale here, feeling the chest expand, feeling the body rise slightly. Exhale, deepening into the stretch. Knees might bend here to allow your belly to rest on your legs. Being kind to yourself. Inhale to release. Exhale into the pose. Inhale, release. exhale, coming back into the pose. And one last time, inhale to release. Exhale, flowing back into the pose, that string moving out over the feet. And then inhale all the way up, back into your seated position. And we'll shift off your blanket if you chose to use that, coming down to rest on the back and bringing the knees into the chest. Roll side to side here slightly if that feels good. And then we'll allow the soles of the feet to find the floor. We're going to bring the heels as close to the tail as we can, reaching down to brush them with the fingertips if possible. And if not, that's okay. And now placing the palms face down on the mat, we'll press into the heels here as we inhale up through the hips, moving the knees towards each other, coming into our bridge pose. Inhaling to lift the hips just slightly more, and then exhale, coming down one vertebra at a time. Once you found your way all the way back to the floor, setting up once again, pressing the palms into the floor, inhaling the hips up. And this time, maybe walking the shoulder blades up underneath the back slightly, opening the chest, lifting the chin slightly towards the ceiling and the chest towards the chin, creating room for yourself to breathe. Coming up just a bit more on your next inhale. And then releasing the shoulders out from underneath the back, coming all the way back down. One last time here. Now, inhaling the hips up, walking the shoulders under the back, and maybe this time you interlace the fingers underneath the back as well. Moving those knees in towards each other, just like you might be grasping a block in between your knees. One more big breath, and then exhale, releasing all the way back down to the mat. Bringing the knees into the chest, one at a time, rolling out gently here. And then keeping the right knee pulled into the chest, we'll inhale the left foot up. Exhaling as we release that left leg all the way down to the floor, hugging the right knee into the chest, feeling this little stretch here. And this time as we're inhaling, we'll drag that left heel back until the left foot is resting on the floor, and then allow the right outside of the foot to come to the top of the left thigh. Inhaling here, and as we exhale, bringing that left foot up from the floor, maybe grasping behind the leg if you like. And that left leg can be wherever you like, extended towards the ceiling or bent slightly. Just coming into a reclined pigeon on this side. And we'll allow that left leg to release down to the floor. We're going to let the right leg continue all the way over the left until the knees are crossed. And then opening the arms out to the side. We'll allow this right leg to draw the left leg over to the right. shifting the gaze over the left shoulder. And if this is too much of a stretch for you or doesn't feel right in your body, allow yourself to unwind the legs, just coming into a gentle twist here. And then inhale the knees back up, unwind the legs, and then bring the knees back into the chest one at a time. This time, hugging the left knee into the chest, inhaling as we extend that right leg up towards the ceiling, and then exhaling, slowly lowering the right leg all the way to the mat, pulling that left knee into the chest, pressing out through the right heel. Inhaling here, and then as we're exhaling, dragging that right heel towards you on the mat until the right foot comes to the floor. Taking the left outside of the foot to the top of the right thigh. Nice big inhale here. And then as you're exhaling, lifting that right leg from the floor, interlacing the fingers behind the leg if you like. Stretching the outside of that left leg. Allowing that right foot to go anywhere it'd like to go. And then allowing that right foot to come back down to the floor. Left leg's going to continue to travel over until the knees are stacked. And then inhaling, the arms open wide. We'll let that left leg draw the right leg over towards the left, shifting the gaze over the shoulder. Remembering to bring this twist to your body. So if something doesn't feel right, make an adjustment. Allow yourself to be content with however things are and find ease in this shape. And then inhaling the knees back up. We'll unwind, bringing the knees back into the chest one last time. Rolling out through that lower back, allowing the pelvis and the lower spine to readjust. And then just allow yourself to relax back down to the mat, finding a few moments of Shavasana here. Relaxing into that feeling of contentment. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe inhale your arms up overhead, stretch out nice and long, and roll gently to one side. And when you're ready, you can press yourself back to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed or your gaze lowered. May this practice have brought you a measure of contentment, and may your yoga follow you off the mat.